Quince is all about elevated essentials that feel effortless. Designed for layering and mixing, each piece helps build a timeless wardrobe made to last. With versatile silhouettes and thoughtful details, they're the kind of styles you'll wear again and again. 100% organic cotton sweaters, premium denim made with stretch for all-day comfort, luxe cotton cashmere blends perfect for the changing seasons. Everything you need for a wardrobe that actually lasts. Quince works directly with safe, ethical factories and cuts out the middleman so you're not paying for brand markup, just high-quality clothing. Quince uses the highest quality materials like 100% European linen and organic cotton. Everything is built to hold up season to season. One of the big staples of my wardrobe is the Quince Mongolian cashmere sweater. I recommend getting the oversized crew in black and oatmeal. It goes with everything. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Kate Casey for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Kate Casey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Kate Casey. My mornings typically start at about 6 o'clock, and I'm usually up pretty late. As you can imagine, I need to be running on all cylinders to keep up with 5 kids and a daily podcast. I am always on the hunt for great wellness products, and you guys, I have a great one for you. I started taking the Super Elixir, a premium daily greens powder formulated to support all 11 systems of the body, including improved gut health, immunity, energy levels, and skin, hair, and nail health. It contains a blend of 40-plus whole food ingredients, probiotics, and minerals designed to reduce body acidity. I love that it's gluten-free, and I feel like I do have healthier skin and nails. I mix it with water or coconut water, and I'm good to go. Super easy and convenient. And the taste, it's original pineapple and lime, so it has a vibrant, tropical, and tangy flavor with the citrusy punch that hides the green taste of ingredients like wheatgrass. And by the way, it's Elle Macpherson's daily elixir for thriving through menopause. Right now, get 15% off the Super Elixir at wellco.com and use the code KateCasey15 at checkout. Try it for yourself and feel a difference within weeks. That's WELLECO.com, code KateCasey15 at checkout for 15% off the Super Elixir. 15% off at WELLECO.com, promo code KateCasey15, first time orders only. Reaching your weight loss goals doesn't have to mean completely changing the way that you live your life. What if you could make healthy progress with a treatment plan that included medication, access to 24/7 support, nutrition tips, and tools for tracking movement, hydration, and sleep, all personalized to go at your pace? That's weight loss by Hers. Through Hers, you're connected with a medical provider who determines if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment plan is personalized to support you in reaching your goals. Plus, you can get access to a range of treatment options, like oral medication kits or GLP-1 injectables. Hers goes beyond medication by offering access to ongoing care, dosage and medication adjustments, lifestyle and nutrition tips, and 24/7 support with no hidden costs or membership fees, and with options starting at just $69 per month with a 10-month plan when paid upfront in full. Hers provides access to options that fit your goals and your budget. Feel like your best self again. Visit forhers.com/Kate Casey to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's forhers.com/Kate Casey. Forhers.com/Kate Casey. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded drug products are not approved or evaluated for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for full details. Important safety information and restrictions. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. Today's episode is about America's Next Top Model. The series premiered in May of 2003, and it immediately felt different. Created by Tyra Banks and developed alongside producer Ken Mock, the series pulled back the curtain on an industry that had long felt out of reach. Week after week, we watched young hopefuls move into that iconic model house, vying for a contract and a career. And for a moment, it felt like we were witnessing the democratization of fashion. From the very beginning, there were unforgettable personalities. Adrienne Curry, one of my favorite guests on this podcast, she was the show's first winner. She set the tone, scrappy, outspoken, emotional. Elise's razor-sharp commentary, Jade's unshakable confidence, Danielle's resilience, and undeniable star power. These weren't just contestants, they became part of the fabric of the early aughts pop culture. And then there was that phrase, that line that still rings in your ear if you watched it. Congratulations, you're still in the running toward becoming America's Next Top Model. Delivered at Tyra at panel and became one of the reality TV's most iconic catchphrases, equal parts validation and suspense. Because for someone else, moments later, there would be silence, a photo withheld, a dream paused. The challenges were part of the spectacle. High fashion shoots in extreme conditions, acting exercises, branding tasks. But some of them now feel harder to watch. The homeless challenge, for example, where contestants were styled and photographed as people experiencing homelessness, turning poverty into aesthetic performance. Now, at the time, it was framed as gritty realism, and today it obviously lands very differently. This documentary series revisits the show with difficult questions, not just for Tyra Banks, but for the entire production ecosystem. Judges like Nigel Barker, Jay Alexander, and Jay Manuel are asked direct questions about the intent behind certain critiques and challenges. There's a recognition that reality TV, especially in the early aughts, often prioritized shock value, emotional intensity, and strong storylines over care or long-term impact. One of the most serious allegations comes from contestant Shandi Sullivan, who states in the documentary series that she was sexually assaulted during filming in Milan. She alleges that the experience was edited into a cheating scandal narrative, reframing it as a traumatic event as relationship drama. It's one of the starkest examples cited of how editing can reshape reality and how contestants may not control the stories told about them. There are also conversations about cosmetic pressure. Danielle Evans, winner of Season 6, has spoken about being pushed to close the gap in her teeth, something she initially resisted. In retrospect, she described aspects of that experience as deeply painful. It's complicated. The show often celebrated uniqueness and individuality, yet at times encouraged contestants to conform to industry standards. And that tension sits at the center of the documentary series. Tyra has long spoken about her own difficult early experiences in modeling, being criticized, scrutinized, told to change. The series suggests that some of those same pressures surfaced within the structure of the show itself. But it's also clear that America's Next Top Model was not a one-person operation. It was built by producers, network executives, creative directors, and judges, all of whom shaped the tone, the challenges, and the culture of the set. So, what was America's Next Top Model? A groundbreaking platform that expanded visibility in fashion, a reflection of the early aughts reality TV excess, a show that empowered some while harming others, or maybe it was all of it at once. So the Netflix documentary series Reality Check, Inside America's Next Top Model, revisits the history, the impact, and the controversies of this show. And it was directed by Loushy and Daniel Sivan. You may remember that I interviewed them about a year ago about American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. The two filmmakers led this 3-part documentary series with an investigative lens, bringing a background in documentary storytelling rather than fashion. And that perspective shapes the tone of the series. It is less celebration and more examination. And that is why I know that all of you are really going to take your time watching this. It's a complicated story, and I'm eager to hear what all of you think about it, looking at this series in retrospect. Here is my interview with the directors. It's so nice to see the both of you. And last time we talked, it was about terrorism. And here we are, America's Next Top Model. So the obvious question is, how did this project come to you?
Oh, we just finished American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. And when we were approached with this project by Wise Child and Everwonder, the producers at Netflix, we were like, wow, that seems like a nice change, a nice vacation from awful stuff happening around the world. And when we dived into it, we discovered it's a whole new bag of worms. So,
For us, when we choose a project, what matters is, is there a story?
Yeah.
Is there an excess? And are there twists? Are there, are there elements that are important? And also, are there enough layers that it's, a bigger conversation about us as a society, about human beings, about the human soul, something that is layered, layers of important subjects to us. And, and to us, it had all the elements. I mean, the access was incredible. The story has so many layers to it. And the messaging of, the subject of beauty and what is beauty and body images and weight and things that, that are very relevant to me, to my daughter, to everyone, really. So we immediately said, of course. And, and it was an amazing and crazy journey.
I mean, for us, coming into it, the minute we heard America's Next Top Model, obviously we are fans like everyone on the planet. And obviously we hate watched it like everyone on the planet. And we had our criticism, of course. But coming into it, it was very clear to us that there's only one right way of telling this story. Because if you look at it as a takedown, it's pretty boring. It's like, okay, mistakes were made. Look at this awful show. I mean, it wouldn't hold for 5 minutes. And looking at it is like, oh, this show is the best thing that ever happened to TV is also boring. And I mean, for us, it was just about the journey. And the journey is a journey of people who came from really the sidelines of society. I mean, back then, a Black woman would not be the main host of a reality multi-million TV show. Miss J, gender fluid, would not be the man that is critiquing young white blonde women from Midwest America, telling them how beauty is. It would be the other way around. And you would not feature something that is so extremely queer on primetime television. And these people were the misfits, they were the disruptors, they shook up the industry, they changed television forever, but that was not the end of the story. I mean, once they became these powerful decision makers, once they became, these pass finders, pass makers, they also turned into kind of the bullies. And they did become something that was humiliating towards women and was oppressing different contenders. And us as viewers played along with all of it. I mean, we watched it. Nobody canceled his, MTN subscription. Nobody called the network and said, oh, this is awful. I can't see women being humiliated on TV. People played along and people still watch it. So I think it's very complex. I think it should raise a debate. And I would love it for people to argue about who's responsible for months to come.
Every year I tell myself, I'm going to get better about meal planning, and every year life gets busy and it falls apart. What finally clicked for me is realizing that meals don't have to look one specific way. They just have to fit your life. That's what Marley Spoon does really well. What I love is that Marley Spoon actually adapts with you. Some nights you cook, some nights you heat, some nights you just need dinner done fast. They've got options for all of it, so that meals fit your schedule and not the other way around. And here's what I love. They give you over 100 recipes to choose from each week. We're talking comforting classics to fresh, balanced dishes. Marley Spoon has tons of options in their marketplace, from meal shortcuts and drinks to fresh groceries that you can add on every week. And you can find these in every weekly menu. And you've got a few extra minutes. You've got some great 20-minute options too. And my personal favorite hack, the tray-baked dinners. Literally throw everything on one tray and boom, you're done. And they even include the tray. My favorite recent meal from Marley Spoon was the honey lemon chicken but my kids also love the citrus kale salad with poached salmon. So this new year, fast track your way to eating well with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey for up to 25 free meals. That's right, up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. That's marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey for up to 25 free meals. This new year, fast track your way to eating well with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey for 45% off your first order and free delivery. That's right, 45% off your first order and free delivery. That's marleyspoon.com/offer/Kate Casey. You know how I've been going around my house making changes in all of the rooms? Nothing feels better than a great room refresh. Our latest project has been my son Jack's room. His room is cream with blue and with pictures of the ocean. He wanted a new upholstered bed, nightstand, and a big bedside lamp. And there was no better place to find it than Wayfair. And it became such a fun project for us to do together. Wayfair's huge selection of home decor items makes it easy to find exactly what's right for you. There are a multitude of options in every design and style. The website is so easy to navigate, and you will not believe how fast your order comes. Get organized, refreshed, and back on track this new year for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. How do you begin to build out? Because it begins with this idea. I'm assuming that it would take time to convince so many people that were involved with the show to come together to discuss something that they made 25 years ago, which, to your point, there is a lot of criticism.
I mean, just as for the access,
The access.
like basically the production companies were in touch with a bunch, I think half a dozen models and the judges for years, building out this unique access to tell the story right. When we came aboard, they did all the heavy lifting for us. I mean, we already got this surplus of access, which was mind-blowing. And we started saying like, okay, but we need to tell these stories also. And we started reaching out to more contenders and to people from the network and to Ken Mock and to Tyra. And we had slowly gathered all of the angles to tell the story right. But it all started from really this aim of telling a story of, let's tell the story of America's Next Top Model. Like we never dreamt of Tyra joining also as an interviewee.
I mean, I think, the producers of this documentary, it was such a cultural phenomenon. 24 seasons, it's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it did change the fashion industry and it did break boundaries. And, and people were very engaged and people were angry and people were, happy. And then COVID came and all the Gen Z started watching it again and everybody had reactions to it. So, I think it was a long time coming, this documentary. I think that I know that a lot of people have tried it in the past to do this documentary and failed. And it's really, it's an amazing journey that they succeeded to tell the story from all the sides around and really with this amazing access, really.
Many of the former contestants have talked about trauma. And in this series, one in particular talks about a sexual assault experience. How critical was it for you to speak to her about it at this point in time? Do you think it would have been more difficult to bring up this topic or to explore it had the project been done maybe 5 or 10 years ago?
I think that part of the fact of, of everybody willing to speak up and not just speak up, but speak up honestly and sharing this journey is, of course, also the time that passed. I think that, there are 2 cases in the show of these matters. And it wasn't easy to talk about it. It wasn't easy to open this box, but they were ready. They wanted to talk about it. I think it's very brave of them to talk about it. I think still to this day, these are very difficult and gentle subjects to talk about, even years later. It's so vulnerable, and it was very brave for them. And they wanted to discuss it. It wasn't, they wanted to open up. They came to tell this story, and they were ready. And I think that they did a very brave decision, because I do think that this story can help the next generation, that this story is something that is important to understand. What are our boundaries that should never be crossed? What message do we want to bring also in television today? And not only television, in us as a society as a whole, to our kids, to my girl. I have a 10-year-old girl. What message do I want to bring to her? And I think that, that this specific message, we wouldn't do this show without it.
One of the most uncomfortable aspects of revisiting the show is watching young women that are pushed to emotional and physical extremes. In today's language, we talk about consent and coercion. How did you frame this editorially?
I mean, I can tell you what surprised me personally. I mean, when we were looking at Shandy's story, for example, we were searching people's reaction to it online with the Gen Zs after the reruns. And we couldn't find even one response saying production should have stopped this. Production should have stepped in. This is not only awful for being broadcast, but this is awful for the production allowing this to happen. And it is, for me personally, it was shocking that people that were watching it again through today's lens still didn't understand that what they're seeing is absolutely wrong and should never have happened. And for us, I mean, this is not about how we framed it or how we, edited it through today's lens, because this is wrong today. This was wrong back then. It was always wrong. This scene, should never have happened. And I personally blame the production. I blame the crew that was on the ground. And I blame Shandy's fellow contenders that didn't step in, because there were other ladies there that saw it happening, unraveling before their eyes, and they should have stopped the filming. And the fact that us as a society not only look the other way, but turn it into some sick form of entertainment, that's very disturbing.
And, and I have to say that, before we started working on the show, we watched all 24 seasons. And I remember watching this now, a few months, when we started. And I was, even the title of this episode in season 2 threw me off. And I watched it and I couldn't believe what I'm watching. Then, and now, and then, reaching out to Shandy, and she wanted to share that story. She didn't have a real stage to talk about it until today. Talking about her, see how much the damage is so deep, was really crushing, as a woman, as a person. And I really hope that we can learn something out of it.
The young women that were on the show as contestants, they have no power. And you asked them, all the participants, a series of questions about what transpired. And I think that, it seemed as if you're trying to get some insight into poor decisions that were made and who bears the most responsibility. It seemed as if when you asked Jay and the other judges, and particularly Tyra, about some of the themes of the challenges, they didn't seem to really acknowledge responsibility for it. They acknowledged that it was horrible, and maybe even that it was uncomfortable to film. But it seems as if they could sort of kicked that responsibility down the lane. And then there's one producer who just says, well, it makes great TV. Was that frustrating to get some answers on who bears the most responsibility? And was it sort of perceived as, well, the network, we're at their mercy and their notes?
I mean, I think it speaks for itself, but I would have loved for people to, to own it and to say, I was in charge and I was responsible, and not hide behind some, bureaucratic, some bureaucratic fence saying like, no, it was a team effort, or I didn't have any decision or whatever. But I mean, sadly, this is this is very human. I mean, we everyone has good excuses, and for me, it's really not about the answers. It's about viewers watching it and coming to their own conclusions.
Even, and I do think, there's a human experience that is very complex also throughout the production. When you're in it, there's so much to learn from it. Even for, if you're looking at this and then you're looking today at reality television, there's so much to learn from it. I think it was also the beginning of the reality TV period. And even, I think that the answers, our viewers are smart. And I think that when you see the sequence, when you hear the answers, everyone can think to himself, what does he think about it? But, I think that also the judges, the production, Tyra, all of the people that gave interview also gave a very complex journey in this. And this was important for us. They would have layers that to learn about the human soul from all sides, not only from the content, not only from the models, but also from the judges and from Tyra, to understand the complexity on what it is like, to be standing in the middle of those decisions when you have so much high expectations of rating of you. And nothing justifies all the wrongdoing that happened in the show, And we did wanted to present that it's a complex story. It has both, right? It has good, bad, and ugly. It has all of those elements. It has the element of, like Daniel said before, of people that really broke the ceiling as to diversity and really try to bring it first intentions, other kinds of beauty. But unfortunately also, they also stereotype some of them in a very wrong way. So, we wanted to bring in a complex journey, like things are in a real life complex, and to really, because that's what interesting. Black or white, it's not interesting.
Well, I think the real goal of documentaries is to open up conversations. I'm glad that at the end you gave an update and allowed each woman to kind of explain where they are right now in their life. And I have to say, I'm rooting for all of them. And I was really moved by a lot of their stories, particularly Danielle, who I hope runs for office one day. I feel like she's got it in her.
She's great.
She has our vote.
Yeah, definitely.
What is the one thing that's going to stay with you most as you walked away from this project?
Good question. To love ourselves, to love ourselves, not to be so judgmental in this crazy world that we're at now. I really hope that, diversity and caring for each other would be main values, and the main core of our lives, that we would be hopefully better as a society, better of, feminists, the feminist revolution, feminism would continue the journey that it's doing now. And really, that's my take. What's yours?
I mean, for me, I think it's very important to me at least, I mean, as a documentary filmmaker, but also as a viewer, I mean, to really acknowledge the fact that these people that we see for 10 seconds on TikTok or 20 seconds on YouTube Shorts or for 15 minutes on this reality TV show, their life goes on after it and it stays with them. And when we narrow them down to a comic relief or to the villain or to anything that, we're so quick to judge, it's important to understand that, the show is over and the filmmakers go do another film or another show. The viewers just switch channels and start binging something else. But for them, the shame and the experience, it's seared into them and they carry it for decades. And it doesn't matter if it's like, from this romantic reality TV show or this quirky documentary we all laughed about. These characters, they carry on, and no matter where they go, people look at them and say like, oh, you were the villain on that show, or oh, you were so funny on this TikTok quirky 5-second snippet. It's important to remember there's human beings behind all of these contenders.
Well, reality check inside America's Next Top Model. 3 episodes. What are you going to do after this project?
Stay tuned. We have a plan.
Okay, good. And I hope that you will tell me.
Yes, absolutely we will. But yes, we have exciting stories ahead.
Okay, good. Well, I'm grateful for your time as always.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my fantastic guests and remind you to make sure that you click subscribe. Please leave a 5-star review. Also, go to my bonus podcast because I'm going to put out an episode just after this where I'm going to talk to you about an experience I had with one of the judges that has long lived as a party favorite in my life. So go check that out. Apple Podcast and on Patreon, patreon.com/KKC. Also, my what to watch list of what to watch every week in unscripted TV is available at katecasey.substack.com. And follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KKCCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky at @KKC. Check back tomorrow for an all-new episode.
Comfort is often the first thing we're willing to give up, like taking a long flight for a vacation or waking up early for a workout. But don't let style be the reason you aren't comfy. Mack Weldon's Ace Collection makes it effortless to look put together while feeling truly comfortable. Inspired by their best-selling sweatpants, the Ace Collection combines everyday comfort with long-lasting and confident looks. Upgrade your collection for the new year with new bomber jackets, half-zips, sweats, crew necks, and much more. Get comfortable anywhere with Mack Weldon's Ace Collection. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code MACK25. That's MackWeldon.com. Promo code MACK25.